Hey everyone, Emily here and welcome to my kitchen. I have a ton of jalapenos still coming out of my garden and I have this huge bowl in the refrigerator that I need to use up. Now what a better way to put a dent in this than to make some jalapeno poppers. These are so simple and come together really quickly using the air fryer. I'll show you how to make this. Let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is work on our jalapenos. We're going to cut these in half and de-seed them. And while we work on these, make sure to have your block of cream cheese out so we can start to soften. It'll be easier to work with later. Get started by taking one jalapeno and cutting it right down the middle lengthwise. You'll be left with two halves just like this. And now we need a place to stuff the cream cheese. So we'll take a spoon and gently remove the inside. This is also going to take away quite a bit of the heat because most of the heat is inside of the seeds. So if you don't like it too spicy, it should be fairly mild once you remove the seeds. Once we have our two halves, I'll just set these aside into a bowl. And I'll just keep going with this until I have enough jalapenos. I think I'll do about 10. Now, as you're working with these, be very careful not to touch your eyes. If you want, you can even wear gloves while you do this. The jalapenos will get juice onto your hands, and that's really hard to get off. It can burn your eyes even after you've washed your hands, so just be careful. I have a good amount here in my bowl, so I'm going to set this aside and get started on my filling. For the filling, I'm going to use a few things I have around the house. I have some green onions, I have some pickled jalapenos, and of course, the cream cheese. So I'm going to start with half a block of cream cheese for the amount of jalapenos that I cut up. I'm going to put that directly into my mixing bowl, and then I'm going to cut up 2 green onions. I'll slice these in half lengthwise so I get smaller pieces and don't have any big chunks. And then give that a nice dice. And then I'll add that right into my bowl. And then finally, I'll throw in a few pickled jalapenos for a little extra spice. I also made these from jalapenos in my garden. Just throw in a few of these, a couple spoonfuls. Give that a little chop. Then I'll add that right into my bowl. At this point, you could throw in a little extra shredded cheese if you want to, or whatever other add-ins you feel like, but I'm just gonna go ahead and give this a mix, and we're ready to stuff the jalapenos. Just mix this together until it's a smooth mixture and well combined. This is why it's best to let your cream cheese soften beforehand so it's easier to mix. That's looking good, and now we're ready to stuff the jalapenos. This is really easy to do with just a knife. You'll get a decent amount on there, grab half a jalapeno, and then spread that directly inside. And that's perfect. Just keep on going until all of your jalapenos have been filled up. These are looking fantastic, and we have just one more step to go before we pop these into the air fryer. I'm going to dip these into breadcrumbs so the top gets nice and crunchy when we air fry them. I'm going to use crunched up croutons, so these are already seasoned. These are the garlic flavor, but if you're just going to use regular breadcrumbs, throw in a couple teaspoons of olive oil, salt, pepper, and a little bit of garlic powder, and that'll be perfect. So all you have to do here is grab your jalapeno popper, dip it into the breadcrumbs. It sticks right to the cream cheese, and then you just pop it into the air fryer. I'm going to repeat this step until all of my jalapeno poppers have a little bit of breadcrumb on top. And here's the last one. I should be able to fit that in there. These are all ready for the air fryer, and they're going to be done in less than 10 minutes. I'll go ahead and pop these in and set my air fryer to 350 degrees for 5 to 8 minutes. Start with 6 and come back, and these should be perfect. My timer just went off, so I'm going to pop these out and see how they've turned out. They smell amazing. Those look perfect. Golden brown, you can tell that the cream cheese is nice and melty. Let's pop these onto a plate and try them out. These have had a few minutes to cool off, so let's give them a try. Perfect. These definitely have a little kick, but they're not too spicy since we removed all of the seeds from the jalapeños. They do have a bit of a kick thanks to the chopped jalapeños inside, but if you want to make them even more mild, you can just completely leave that out. They have a nice crunch thanks to the breadcrumbs on top, and I think you're really going to like them. I hope you give them a try. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you can get notified every time I post. You can find the full recipe to this, as always, in the description box down below. And if you want to check out more of my air fryer recipes, don't forget to check out this playlist linked off to the side. Hope to see you back here next time.
Good boy.